All right, welcome back to AI for real estate professionals. Something I found is really helpful working with buyers especially is this platform called Trello. So what this is, basically it's just a visual project management platform. So the way it works is within Trello, you have individual boards. So this entire page is what's called a board. On each board, you've got these lists. So each of these headlines is a list. And then within each of those, I can place cards. So the way I like to set this up with buyers is setting up a need to have, nice to have, some options I've found that match these. Every time we go out on showings, I set up a new list and then I can shuffle these cards around. Say we looked at all these. We can jump in here and tag them with a label. So I can say, oh, they liked this one, or they did not like this one. We'll mark that a red. And then if they have any favorites, we drop them over here. So we can come back to that. We can say, hey, we've looked at all these homes. These are your favorites. You can also add comments. So another thing you can do with Trello, which is awesome, is you can share it directly with your clients. So when you're working with a buyer, you can build out this board, share it so they have access to it. And Trello has a mobile app as well. So it makes it really easy for them to jump in and use it on mobile or on a computer. But then they can go in and add comments on every home that you see. Say if you've got a husband and wife looking together, they can jump in and say, I really liked the kitchen in this. I didn't like this. This one had a weird bedroom. This one had maybe some water damage. So it's a really good way just for everyone to be kind of collaborating on each thing as you go. I found it helps keep buyers more engaged and moving through the process. And the other thing that's really great is a lot of time buyers kind of change their mind as they go through the buying process, but they don't tell you that. So when you've got these boards that you're sharing, you've got these lists of the need to have and the nice to have. Sometimes their wants change as they go through a bunch of homes. And then it's really easy for them to say, you know what, this is actually a need to have. I've decided this is really important to me. And, you know, our budget has changed a little bit. Let's bump this up to, I don't know, $450. Just little things like that. Or they can say, you know, I just thought of this new thing totally out of the blue. After seeing all these, this is something I absolutely have to have. And then it just makes sure that you and the client are on the same page all the time. So whatever you're adding here in the options, you know, they can comment on it and say, I want to see that. I don't like that. And then it also helps them kind of visualize the progress so they can see, you know, every time you go on a showing, create a new list, they can see all the homes they've been through. It just really helps them more concisely see what they want and see their progress to keep them moving along the process. So I found this is really helpful for me. I've talked to a couple other agents that have had good success with this. So I want to show you how to build it out in a really easy way. I know we talk about AI and automations. This is totally unrelated to that, although there's some cool automations you can do within Trello. We're going to jump back to make.com and I'll show you how I put this together. So the way I do this is I've set up a Mailhook. So if you're not familiar with Mailhooks, basically it's this gibberish address that you can take and I save it as a contact in my Gmail. So anytime I search Trello, it comes up. I'll create Trello board, new client. Then I'll say John Smith buyer. So whatever I put in the subject line will be the title of the board. So you can see this. I've just swapped to initials, buyer board. Here I'll name it John Smith buyer. And then I just email all of my notes. So if I get off a phone call with them, you've talked with them, talked about kind of where they're looking, what they want. Maybe you just signed the buyer broker agreement and they're ready to get going. I just send an email to this address with all of my notes, and we'll send that, and I'll walk you through this. So what this does is this receives that email. It creates the whole new board for us. It names it. It finds their email address and shares the board with them as a client. It breaks up their needs and wants just based on whatever notes and crap I threw in that email. So that doesn't need to have any special formatting. It's literally just a brain dump in that email. I just say, this is everything I know about them. This is what we talked about. And then we use AI to go through and pull out all of their wants and needs. And let's jump into Trello.com. And John Smith Buyer is our new board. So we'll jump into here. Trello is a little silly because they always create a to do, doing, and done tab. So I'll just archive those, and then we will rearrange this. So we've got our need to have, nice to have, our options, and our favorites. So we'll move our wants over here. So this, it just pulled everything out of our email. So it named the board. You can see it shared it with John, who is totally fake, and I put a bogey email address in there. But it breaks up our need to have, our nice to haves, and then using this, I can go into the MLS. I can find houses that match some of these. I can say 3290 South, 700 West, Ogden, Utah. And then I can, add a cover. So if I've got an image of the home, I can upload that as a cover image. I'll just use that because it's here. And then you can add attachments. So sometimes I'll download the PDF printout from the MLS or just take a screenshot of the floor plan and upload it in here. I'll add some notes. Say this one has solar, right? Price range, private office for work from home. I can save that. And then the client can come in here and add comments. And so it will say, John Smith just said whatever, or he can, link to another property. Anyways, so this, I love this. Really easy way to get clients more involved and add a little more value on your side. It's also, I've found that it helps with closing by your clients, not closing on the purchase, but if you go into a buyer presentation and you've got, one more tangible that's like, this is what you get when you work with me. You can pull this out and say, hey, this is what I do for all my buyers. You don't have to use this, but a lot of people have found this really helpful. And then kind of just do this exact same thing. Say, this is how I map it out. I give you some options in here. If you find anything else, you can add in other options. We can set up a showing, and it just really helps them visualize the process of working with you as their agent. And then setting it up in here. So we can go Trello and new buyer. This just makes it really easy for you to not have to worry about all the tech stuff. You're not wasting time setting up Trello boards. It's just really, really simple to talk to a client, shoot an email, and have it all built out, have the client pulled into the loop, and start working with them. So hopefully that was helpful. If you want the blueprint for this, so obviously this looks big and complex and messy to build, I'll upload the exact blueprint for this in the Skool community. So if you're in Skool, it will be right below this video. If you're watching this on YouTube, the link to Skool will be right below this video. If you're in the Skool community, you will see the blueprint for this. You can upload that directly into your Make account, and I'll show you how to do that quick. So we'll create a new scenario. We will click Import Blueprint down here, and we'll choose Trello Buyer Board Setup. and save. And so that just brings the entire thing into your account, and all you will need to do is connect your Trello account, connect your ChatGPT account, and set up your own webhook or Mailhook. So really all you do here is click add, name it whatever you want, and it'll generate your own Mailhook email address. So simple as that. If you're in the Skool community, we've always got polls going. Comments are open. Let me know what else would be helpful for you guys. And if you're on YouTube, jump in the Skool community. Hopefully you'll get a lot of value from that, even more so than what you're getting on YouTube.